Just as good. Just as good. There it is. So I'm out at the range with a buddy today, and we had some bright ideas about how we were going to spend the day. Yeah, so just walk around me, film me, and you know, make sure to focus on the important assets, because that's why people watch people shooting bolt guns. They don't care about the bolt gun. They want to see some jiggle. So, okay. Yeah, thank you. And we had intended on doing a lot of high-speed shooting and moving and all that fun stuff, the cool guy stuff, the stuff that we all love. And we realized very quickly upon conducting some warm-up drills that we don't shoot as much as we used to. So our groups have opened up. CJ here, he used to shoot a lot, and within the last 3 years, he was kind of burned out because he worked around the industry. And myself, I've professionally carried firearms now for 14 plus years, and then pretty much concealed carry all the time. So I began to kind of rest on my laurels a little bit. With ammunition being expensive, I was like, you know what, I've got the fundamentals down just fine, and I still feel very confident that I can defend myself, but I am not comfortable at the standard that I'm currently at. I want to and aspire to have a higher level of proficiency than most people, and right now I feel like I'm about average. And I'm not comfortable with just being an average shot, because if the day was to come, for example, if you look at the Clackamas mall shooting, I think that's the city name, out in Washington State. How far out was the kid in that Clackamas mall shooting? Was he like 50 yards or something ridiculous with his pistol? 40? Yeah. So if you look at him as the baseline, you should be able to do that. And I'm not fully confident that I could make all the shots that he made right now. So that's what we're out here doing today. We're doubling down on the fundamentals. All right, today I'm just running some basic fundamental drills. We're gonna run the M17 through the dot drill. I'm gonna work my way through the first 2 lines. Went ahead and zeroed the little EOTech optic on it. All over the place. All right, so I've got my buddy out here shooting his as well. I'm gonna put up another piece of paper because I'm very unsatisfied with that. I should have slowed it down a bit. All right, very unhappy with the first go at that. I need to slow it down. Yeah, I'm not that bad. At least I used to not be. All right, so the whole point of this too, don't rest on the fact of how well you used to shoot back in the day. I used to go to the range at least once a month. That doesn't happen anymore, hence the lack of uploads. And I used to shoot a lot for my job. So you can see how going back to that and saying, oh, my fundamentals are all locked in, well, maybe they're not anymore. And I know most people maybe make it out to the range a couple times a year. This is very much a diminishing skill set. We're gonna go cold real quick just so you can see. So my buddy grabbed my pistol. He shoots a lot more than me. Used to do a lot of competition shooting, and his shots were a lot more on the mark. So,
I stopped at 4, so that one's you whenever you're aiming there.
Yeah, so we'll reset. I'm gonna give it a go with some irons on the bottom row here with a different P320, and then we're gonna pick the dot back up. Okay, here's my alternate P320. Still not thrilled with that. I'm gonna walk it back across. Little better, not much. All right, so I worked my way across and then came back again, and my buddy was explaining that, what was it, 1?
Okay, here. So you went 1, 2, then 3. You did 4, 5, and 6 right here, I believe. You placed another one back here, and then I believe it was this one, then this one, whenever you're going back the opposite direction.
For the next drill, for purposes of conserving 9mm, because, you know, ammo being what it is right now, this is the next drill we're gonna run, and we're gonna walk our way across the top row here. These are the instructions, and then the 1 round, 2 round. We're gonna switch to 22 LR for this course of fire. Hand and then both hands. Okay. A little low. Oh, actually did better with the dominant hand than I thought I was gonna do. So
you pulled this one.
Yeah, I did.
You pulled that one. That's for the left hand.
Yeah, I could feel how
right
shaky it
there.
was. Actually, it was tighter with my support hand than I thought I was. I haven't done a lot of support hand shooting in recent months. And then dominant, so. And then with both hands. You'll be able to not only self-diagnose a little bit what you're doing, but bringing somebody with you who's also a better shot than you is not a bad idea.
I'm really bad with my left hand now.
But you're convinced you're not going to shoot my camera. That's all that matters.
If I shoot your camera, I'll buy you a new one. That was a really bad left hand, bro.
That's one that everyone, I think, really just doesn't work on enough.
Yeah, I pretty much never worked on it before.
All right, we'll go cold. Go. So what I found, at least for me, when shooting support hand, because I'm so right-eye dominant, I'll actually cross over and use my right eye when shooting with my left hand, and I found that tends to be tighter for me than any quals that I've had to shoot over the years.
I squinted with my left eye.
Yeah.
That might have been part of my problem.
I mean, that looked
I
really...
pulled one in here.
Mm-hmm.
I know I pulled one of these down, so I probably pulled 2 of these in here since there's 6 shots here. And then this is pretty good. All those should have been in there. Then all those are right there.
Yeah, both hand look good. Your dominant hand groups look really good. It's just
support hand needs work.
I think this one was from the support hand. I'm pretty sure. I can go back and check.
I believe it was.
But like, I mean, in all actuality, like if that's how you're shooting with your support hand, and you went up a caliber, you know, you went up to 9mm from 22, that wouldn't be too bad. All right, so my friend here's going to start on the right side, and I'm going to start on the left side. Here we go.
Did you knock 2 down with 1?
I'm not sure. So we have 3 different offerings today. These 2 on the right belong to CJ, and I'll let him speak on those in a moment. Here I have one of my Palmetto State Armory amalgamations. The lower parts kit is all Spikes Tactical. The upper is all PSA, with the exception, obviously, of the Troy front and rear iron sights and the Hollow Sun. And then I have a Magpul hookup for one of my slings, and I'm currently not running on it. I'll let CJ talk about his rifles. And part of this is really just, what were you saying? Is it the
Indian or the Arrow?
The Indian or the Arrow, which is really the case. Is this just as good? Do our fundamentals suck? We're gonna find that out today. So you go ahead and talk about your rifles.
All right, so first up we have a JP15. It's their entry model. This is ballpark $1,800 whenever you buy this, plus scope and the scope rings. You know, that's an extra $2 grand. Of course, everything's got to be expensive, and that's really all there is. This is outright just straight from JP. You buy it like this, muzzle brake, everything, the tube, and then the only thing I added on was the scope. Now, second up, this is just something I put together based off of my preferences. 12.5, I believe it's the delivery gunwork barrel. I don't even remember. We've got the polonium on the end from Otter Creek Labs. Absolutely love it. This is cross machine tool rail. Wonderful. I actually dumped Geisley to go to this because I needed a rail that was a little bit longer to run my flashlight further out, which is not on here because I used it to murder a snake. Different story. And then we have the Hollow Sun Ames, which the famed assassination shooter was using. So we're gonna have fun with that.
Yeah, that seems to be the gun tube and X consensus now that that was indeed the optic that was used. So, all right, here we go. baby. Just as good. Just as good. There it is. Wow, that was weird. So an important discovery here, something that we both already kind of knew, is that we use different ammunition types. So this is my first group with the Palmetto State Armory rifle. This is the second rifle that belongs to CJ that has quite a few Gucci parts on it. And this is what M855 delivered out of the two barrels. You can see that there's a pretty big difference. I mean, got a couple maybe flyers here. And then, stupidly, I shot the left target with the M855. These are CJ's groups. Why are your groups different other than the fact you're a better shot than me?
In my case scenario, I was running custom hand loads. Keep in mind, they're not super tailored to any of the guns. However, I was not using that stupid steel penetrator that everybody in the military loves to use. It's not a great bullet. It's not great for accuracy. And that's the big difference in why these groups versus these groups. These 52 grain hollow points from Nosler are designed to shoot well. So even if my load is just whatever I picked for the day, which is exactly what I did, I just picked a middle charge of N530 powder, and I sent something below mag length. And these are acceptable. I have no idea what the velocity is, but these work at these distances.
You were saying too about the loads you assembled yourself.
So I picked random seating depths that were going to seat at mag length. I literally just picked a safe charge that the book said, whatever it said. I went smack dab in the middle, and I set that. I had no load development, just something I put together last night because I didn't feel like breaking my book out, and it works well enough.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, really, the difference between the two. And a lot of guys, of course, a lot of us gravitate to the M855, but it really is not performance or precision ammo. Obviously, it's reliable enough, and if you're concerned with achieving a high level of accuracy, this is definitely not the one to go with. You can see, again, the wide variation on the target. Okay. And these are not the best pants for my butt, so it's unfortunate.
Shot at the bottom?
Yes. I mean, wherever the 3 holes are, in theory.
Not my best work, but
that'll do. Let's go take a look at the target. All right, so here's the two groups. Here's CJ's, beautiful.
Not real happy with that. But
and then mine, which is a little off to the left.
the gun is definitely more capable than that. That was definitely me.
Yeah, we did that grouping shot the other day, and all three were just touching each other beautifully. So, yeah, it's definitely a combination of the gun and the shooter, right? Even a poor marksman like myself can ruin a perfectly good, what, $5,000–6,000 rifle? And CJ here, again, beautifully. So beautifully done.